I briefly explained the projection method. It is like you see something and you judge it. You say, oh no, that can't be true. And exactly what you judge is what you also reject on yourself. For example, you see a behavior of a person and you reject this behavior. You would never do this. And especially because of this, why you don't prefer this behavior. You also judge it on others. That's a logical thing. There's nothing wrong with it. The interesting point, which Carl Jung found out, is that it has something to do with duality. Because most of the time when we reject one aspect, we prefer the exact opposite. And that's duality. Because in this world, duality is present. And our mind works in a dual way. It loves one side, one pole, and the other pole not. And additionally, between the poles are several levels, and there also the mind is choosing. Sometimes it is not just that the mind is always on one pole. Sometimes it's also close to a pole and not so far at the end of the pole, but it is sorting in boxes. Mind loves to put things in boxes, not just on a physical level, but also in your mind. And so it judges. And when you go through the city or wherever you go, you judge and judge and judge. And this is projection. But there is hope. There are solutions to find out of the projections. Because otherwise, you will just argue all of your life. And it doesn't make sense when you go through your life and just argue because you judge everything and you argue about everything. And therefore, we work on it. Carl Jung says you have to integrate your projections. Your projections are your shadows. What you reject is your shadows. He named it shadows. It's a beautiful name to see what is dark inside of me. I don't want to see it at me. I see it at another person, and therefore it's my shadow. It is very intelligent to name it this way. But however you name it, it doesn't matter. You can take it like Carl Jung or any psychologist else, whatever. The point is you have to integrate your shadows. That means you must learn to accept the other person or the behavior or whatever you don't like at the person and integrate it. That means find this in yourself too. And this perspective is very hard to say, I am that, but I am the opposite too. Both is inside of me. I am everything. Everything what exists and what can be is existing in me. Not just the one pole and the other pole not. The world also has two poles and can't say that. Imagine when imagine when the planet would say, I just want the North Pole and the South Pole not. What will happen? That doesn't make sense, but that even our planet has poles and is working in kind of a dualistic way is a sign that this world is dualistic. And the mind, which lives here and loves to live here, is thinking in a dualistic way. And therefore, psychologists say you have to integrate what you reject. But there are other methods too, which come from meditation and which have the best effects. And this is, first of all, to observe your mind, to observe the thinker, to observe all the judgment which happens in you. This is very hard at the beginning, as you know, and I said in all the other videos, but this is the only way before it comes to integration, what Carl Jung says. It has to be observed. You must first become the observer. You must see the problem. That's not just the other person and you not. You are the opposite and the opposite is good and what the other person does is wrong. And you just see one side of the coin, but there's also another side of the coin. And you can't have the coin with just one side. You always have the whole coin in every case, in every situation, in every item.